Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're having an incredible day so far. In today's video, we're diving into some big news about Social Security, specifically, the changes that were made under the Trump administration, and what we can expect to see as we move into 2025. There's been a lot of buzz around Social Security lately, and the current commissioner has promised even more positive changes coming soon. Now, let's jump into the topic at hand. When President Trump took office, one of the key areas his administration focused on was overhauling social programs, and Social Security was no exception. Within the first 100 days, we saw some significant changes. For example, they adjusted the percentage that the Social Security Administration, SSA, could withhold from someone's benefits if they were overpaid, reducing it from 100% down to 50%. This is a huge shift, especially since it was previously ramped up from 10% to 100%. Many are wondering if it could go back down to 10%, and personally, I think that's a real possibility. But what's most important is that the SSA has promised even more positive changes for 2025. So, what's going on? According to a recent article in Newsweek, President Trump's administration is far from done when it comes to reshaping Social Security. The former acting commissioner, Leila Dudek, made it clear that these changes aren't just about meeting political agendas or press cycles, they're about real, long-lasting reform to serve the people. In an opinion piece for the New York Post, Dudek wrote, "In the spirit of the president's call for results over rhetoric, we have reshaped SSA not to serve a party or a press cycle but to serve the people." He went on to say that while the first 100 days have brought a lot of progress, the work is far from finished, and the future of Social Security isn't just protected, it's being renewed. Now, Dudek has since been replaced by Frank Bisignano, who is now the permanent commissioner of the SSA. So, what does that mean for the future? Let's take a closer look at what's been happening and what we can expect moving forward. One major development this year is that the SSA confirmed they're planning a 7,000-person workforce reduction, which has raised some concerns. Back in April, Dudek announced that over 3,000 staff members had already left the agency, and another 2,000 were reassigned to offices that needed more help. In addition to that, Dudek highlighted some positive actions taken under the current administration. For example, expedited payments have been made possible thanks to the passage of the Social Security Fairness Act, which eliminated two provisions that had been cutting benefits for certain public service workers. As a result, $14.8 billion in retroactive benefits was paid to 2.2 million Americans, a huge achievement. But here's the kicker: initially, those affected beneficiaries were told it could take up to a full year to receive those retroactive benefits and the new benefit increases, which ranged from $300 to $700 per check. Instead, the process was sped up significantly, and payments went out in just a couple of months. That's a major win for those waiting on those funds. Now, for some Americans who still haven't seen their benefits increase yet, the SSA has promised that they'll get their increase and retroactive benefits by November at the latest. Of course, we'll have to wait and see if that holds true. But not everyone is pleased with the direction things are going. There has been criticism from several corners, particularly about the staffing cuts and potential disruptions to the system. Martin Ali, who served as the SSA Commissioner under President Biden, has voiced serious concerns. He warned that if staffing cuts continue, we could see delays in benefit payments. In fact, he went as far as to say that if these personnel reductions continue unchecked, there could be a collapse of the payment system, leading to interruptions in the distribution of benefits. What does this mean for you? Well, if Ali's predictions come true, you might see a delay in your Social Security check. Something that normally comes like clockwork might be delayed by weeks or even months. The SSA has already experienced issues with their system, like website outages, phone delays, and even incorrectly declaring people deceased, which caused them to stop receiving payments. Yes, this has actually happened. A few people have been wrongly declared dead, which resulted in them losing their benefits temporarily. Now, this doesn't affect everyone, but it's a reminder of just how fragile the system can be. This kind of backlash is fueling concerns, especially among Democratic voters, who fear that Social Security might not be as secure under the Trump administration. In fact, a recent poll from the Associated Press found that older Americans' confidence in Social Security has significantly dropped since 2023. Specifically, 3 in 10 adults over the age of 60 say they're not very confident that Social Security will be there when they need it. This is up from about 2 in 10 in 2023. Interestingly, younger Americans are even less confident, with about half of adults under 30 saying they're not very confident that Social Security will be there for them. The shift in confidence isn't just based on age, it's also tied to political affiliation. Among older Democrats, there's been a substantial decrease in confidence about Social Security. About half of Democrats aged 60 or older are not confident that Social Security will be available to them. That's a massive swing from 2023, when only about 1 in 10 Democrats felt that way. On the other hand, older Republicans have become more confident. Around 6 in 10 Republicans aged 60 and older now say they're confident Social Security will be there for them, up from only 1 in 4 in 2023. But the reality is that Social Security's financial outlook is still uncertain. Many experts project that the Social Security Trust Fund will run out of money by 2033. When that happens, benefits won't go away entirely, but they will likely be reduced. The estimate is that benefits could be cut by 19 to 26%, which would be a major issue for retirees who rely on these payments. So, what's the solution? There are a few potential options on the table: raising taxes for current workers, cutting benefits for higher earners, raising the retirement age, or some combination of these measures. It's clear that something will need to be done, but the question remains, how will lawmakers address this before it's too late? So, with all this in mind, here's a big question for you: are you confident that Social Security will be there when you need it the most? What changes would you like to see made? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We've covered a lot of ground today, but it's clear that the future of Social Security is uncertain, and there are a lot of moving pieces at play. I'll be keeping a close eye on any updates, and I'll make sure to keep you all informed. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.